Lionel Messi has spent more than 2 decades making football history. But behind the player the world knows as Messi, there was a man who had been beside him long before the trophies, the Ballon d'Ors, Barcelona, Argentina, or the World Cup. His name was Jorge Messi. And now, that man is gone. Jorge Messi, Lionel Messi's father and longtime agent, died in Rosario, Argentina, at the age of 68 after a prolonged illness. His family confirmed that he had spent his final months between his home and a medical center, surrounded by his wife, Celia, and his children. But Jorge wasn't simply Messi's father. He was one of the most important figures behind his son's journey. Long before Lionel became one of football's greatest players, Jorge was involved in his development. He coached Lionel when he was a child, and as Messi's career progressed, Jorge became his agent and remained closely involved in his professional affairs. When Messi was still a teenager, his family made the enormous decision to move him from Rosario to Spain so he could pursue his football career at Barcelona. That decision would eventually change football history. And Jorge remained part of the journey. Through Barcelona's greatest years, Argentina's struggles, Messi's individual records, and eventually his World Cup triumph, his father's influence remained a constant part of his life. Messi has also spoken publicly about how much he valued his father's opinion and guidance. But perhaps the most emotional part of this story came during the most recent World Cup. While Messi was representing Argentina, Jorge was dealing with serious health problems. Messi continued playing while carrying that personal burden, and his father's health was reportedly one of the struggles weighing on him during the tournament. And now, after all those years, that chapter has come to an end. Jorge Messi died in Rosario on Friday night, August 7th, 2026. He was 68. The football world has already begun paying tribute, with clubs and football organizations, including Barcelona, Real Madrid, Newell's Old Boys, and the Argentine Football Association expressing their condolences to the Messi family. Lionel Messi's career will be remembered for the goals, the trophies, the records, and the moments that seemed impossible. But behind that extraordinary career was also a family. And behind Messi, for much of his journey, was his father, Jorge. The man who helped guide the boy from Rosario toward the biggest stages in football is no longer here to watch the next chapter. But his influence on Lionel Messi's story will remain forever. Rest in peace, Jorge Messi.